700 soldiers and seamen died when the Mary Rose foundered as she sailed from Portsmouth to encounter the French fleet watched.
So, hello, I'm at the Mary Rose 4D dive experience, and with me I have Lesley. And Lesley, can you just quickly tell me a bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Lesley Runnels. I have a PhD in marine geology and I fly for British Airways past Concorde for 25 years. You couldn't see more than a foot or half a metre away from you. And then at the end of the excavation, I could take people around on what we called a cook's tour, and we could see across, 10 metres across the ship, which was amazing.
Yeah. So how did you come to dive on the Mary Rose? What was your background?
Well, I was really interested in diving and underwater photography, and Margaret Rawle asked me to join the project early on. So I came down and did some studies at South Sea University to kick on and all that, and we went off on the small boat, the catamaran, just working basically at weekends and then during the school holidays. But I was flying on Concorde at that time, so it was quite complicated for me to organise my time. So I was up at 60,000 feet or under the ocean at 40 metres. So there was a really interesting combination. So during the latter years of the raising of the Mary Rose, I managed to get British Airways to give me dispensation for unpaid leave, and so I was down the whole time. So when I was working at the Mary Rose, I only was able to work when it was not spring tide. So when it was spring tide, I went up in the air on Concorde and flew at 60,000 feet to America, to Washington, to Barbados, to New York, all of those exciting places.
Wow.
And I had to scrub up really well because I was under the ocean for quite a bit of time.
It's just such extremes.
And then come back. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah. So how did you cope with the conditions underwater? Was it cold? I mean, the cold and the visibility?
It was jolly chilly, very chilly. And coming back in at the beginning of the season, in early March, I remember coming for my first dive. I was so cold, my feet were freezing. And I went to this lovely Cliff Hares, who had a dye shop in Portsmouth. And I said, Cliff, I cannot cope. I need a dry suit immediately, overnight. And he said, Lesley, I can only do one thing overnight. It's a very, very thick wetsuit for you, and it'll be ready in the morning. I went, thank you. And the next morning I collected it, I was underwater, and I worked for the next 6 months.
Nice
really,
and warm.
well, I wouldn't say nice and warm, but much, much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a wonderful man, and so good with things like that.
Yeah, it must have just been amazing just to see this evening as well, what you've seen on the screen. Did it bring it all back?
I absolutely loved the film. I thought it was excellent. It wasn't too technical.
No.
And I think for younger people, that is probably the best. If you have it too techy, they won't be interested. But I think it opened that door
And inspire
to say, come on, let me know a little bit more. And my granddaughter's now 11, and she's so excited. She's been to see the museum. She's now done her padding over water, and she is really, really keen to get underwater and explore exciting projects.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that film has opened it up for so many people who never maybe even considered it.
No.
Not academics, not sport divers, but just that element of excitement and it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So did you continue diving after you finished on the
Oh
Mary
yeah, I'm
Rose?
still diving now. I'm still
Brilliant.
doing research. And I'm a doctor of science. marine geology, and it was only through the Mary Rose that I actually did my PhD. So all those wonderful people in the early years of the Mary Rose inspired me to study like a crazy girl, and I ticked my box.
That's
And
amazing.
now I'm helping other people to do the same sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's great to see people's journey after doing the diving and now where you are now.
Socially, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Amazing project, and I think it will give so much excitement to so many new people, particularly youngsters. That's what we need, isn't
Exactly,
it?
absolutely, yes, yeah. And women divers as well. Yes.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been great talking to you, and thank you very much.
And also, of course, I was through this and other things that I got involved in the Women Divers Hall of Fame.
Really?
Which is a big American thing, but to be, I think, one of only 2 UK people to be enrolled in the...
Christina a couple of weeks ago.
Christina Zanato.
That's right,
Yeah,
yes.
she's
So
in-
I think I was in about 10 odd years ago, so quite exciting and not expected, because it's not something we hear in UK about, is it? So Women Divers Hall of Fame, and I think there's a couple of people in this community that I need to promote to get them in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a great institution to be in.
It is hard work to get there, very fulfilling, and if you can explore other people to enjoy that as well, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, no, brilliant, really brilliant. Yeah, very inspiring. Thank you.
20th century technology went ponderously to work. Then a crow's nest view of the cradle, but not yet its 16th century burden. There was as much tension among the recovery team as on the long steel cables from which the cradle hung. Then, after 437 years, the skeletal ribs of Henry VIII's tragic warship emerged to a triumphant salute of sirens and gunfire.